my friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica, and in today's video I am doing a collab with one of my dear friends here on this YouTube platform. Her name is Emily D. Of course, I will link her channel in my description box. She and I have done one other collab together, and she actually won one of my giveaways a while back. It was an Ulta gift card. Can't remember how much it was for, but I was just stoked that she won my giveaway. She is beautiful. She's talented, and she's one of the most supportive people here on this platform. Even before she started her channel, super supportive of so many creators here. And then even having her channel and having a lot of her free time, I'm sure, caught up with editing and filming, or filming and editing, whatever, she's still super supportive. I commonly see her comments in the comment section of course, my videos, and then other people's videos too. And I just think that's so awesome that even though she's very busy, she's got a beautiful family that she's taken care of. And now her channel, she's had her channel for a while now, but she's still so supportive. I love it. So she reached out to me a while back and said, let's do a collab. And I said, okay, let's do that. And then we were kind of like trying to plan it out. And then I got super busy and forgot to connect with her. So she got in touch with me again, thank goodness, and said, are we going to do this collab? I said, yes, Emily, we are. So we have a palette in common, which is the BH Cosmetics Lost in Los Angeles palette. Now I've done two other videos with this. I did a throwback Thursday with this a while back, and then a while back before that, I did a palette bingo collab with Jen Beauty. And I do really enjoy this palette. It's just that the tones in here, obviously this is more of a pastel palette, and I usually gravitate more towards palettes that have more depth in them than this one does. But I love it. And I really think that the shadows perform really well in here. And I do like to do other things besides just the same type of stuff, right? I mean, you know, we're using colors that maybe are a little bit trickier for me, kind of tones that are trickier. So I was thrilled when she said, hey, let's use this palette together. So for whatever reason, when I've used this palette in the past, I typically focus on the pinks or the coral peachy tones. And in other palettes, however, I will focus on like the blues and purples. Don't ask me why, I don't know. So for today's look, I really do want to focus on the blues and purples. I don't think I've ever used them before. Maybe. I don't think so. I think for the palette bingo collab, I did throw in a blue or purple. I picked the weirdest shades at random for that collab. They were not a good combo necessarily, not for me anyway. So I think what I'm going to do is use LAX, this kind of aqua bluey green shade in my transition area. Then I'm going to use Abbott Kinney in my crease, I think. And then I'm going to use Melrose, this beautiful purple shimmer. I'm going to use City of Angels, which is kind of a bluey purple. And then the Hills, which is kind of like a pink mauve maybe. I don't know yet. We'll see. I can't really tell exactly what shade that is. So starting off with this, putting it in my transition area. I do sort of have my brows done. I just put some brow gel in my brows. I think I'm going to stop putting product in my brows other than just some brow gel to keep them calm. I don't know. I'm just playing with something for a while. And then I do have this eyelid primed in the Juvia's Place Prep Prime eyeshadow primer. Alrighty, so going into LAX, this beautiful light blue greeny shade. I mean, there's a lot of pigmentation to these mattes. Really, oops, this is very creasy. Well, not creasy, it's just kind of subtle and a little funny. So let me pat that out a little bit. I do, of course, want to highly recommend that you go and check out Emily's channel if you have not yet already. I think you're really going to like her. She's really fun. She has really fun makeup products, and she has a lot of varying content. I will admit it's been a while since I've watched her videos. It's been a while since I've watched a lot of people's videos, and I know I say that a lot, and I hate how that sounds, and I hate that I just get real busy and I don't take the time to go and watch other people's content. I do my best, but it's just hard, you know, and I know that sounds lame. I know it does. I hear how it sounds because I want to be as supportive as the next person is, of course. It just can be hard sometimes with having a full-time job and, you know, a household and a family and a channel. So yeah. I can remember before I started my channel, I would spend lots of time, oodles of time, watching content creators' videos. And I miss it because it was really relaxing and fun, and it gave me a lot of really great ideas to try. I mean, even before I started my channel, commonly I would watch people's videos and be like, "Ooh, I want to try that. I want to try that color combo, or I want to try that brand, or I want to try that technique or whatever." And I think it's still really important to continue to do that because you get so many great ideas from watching other people's content, you know, trying out different things. And I do feel like sometimes I can get kind of in a rut in terms of doing things a certain way and not really like branching out, trying other stuff. I am really trying to get the cut crease technique down, you know, that's been really fun to do and I'm really enjoying that. But you know, there's just still lots of things I still want to learn how to do and maybe master, probably not, but try to anyway, you know. I've mentioned lots of times that my halo eyes suck and I'd like to get better at that. But well, they do suck, but I also, like I've mentioned too, I just don't like how that looks on me really for whatever reason. I don't know. So I'm excited to see what shades Emily's gonna pull in for her look because we're not using the same shades, whatever shades we want to use. And I think, did she say something about maybe doing a palette bingo? And I was like, after the shades I randomly chose for that palette bingo I did with Jen, I was like, I don't want to do another palette bingo with this. Just the tones are so different from each other, a lot of them. Some of them aren't, but a lot of them aren't. I was like, nah. So I do like that. I feel like it's sticking funny to the primer right there. But I think probably what I'll do is go over that with the purple. So that might take that away. I don't know, we'll see. So now I'm gonna go into Abbott Kinney and put that in my crease and try to maybe make that look a little bit less weird. I just don't know if I can make it look less weird, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna give it a shot. Give it a try. I actually had thought too about doing an all shimmer look with this palette, but I really do like the mattes in this palette because they're very pigmented and they blend really well. And this experience, you know, playing with an older BH Cosmetics palette, it makes me sad that the brand just is not as dynamic and as ass-kicking as it used to be. You know, BH Cosmetics at its heyday was just so good, so good. You know, these travel series palettes, the brunch, the weekend vibes, the sweet shops. I mean, you guys know how I feel about those palettes. I've gone bonkers about those so many times. So yeah, it sucks. I really miss BH Cosmetics of old. It's really sad that they're not the way they used to be. And you know, here's the thing. I really do like Revolution Beauty or Makeup Revolution. I really like Makeup Obsession, which was like a derivative of Makeup Revolution, Revolution Beauty, whatever. I've never really had a problem with that brand. I mean, sure, I've gotten some things from the brand, like a couple palettes that I didn't necessarily like love, but I still have several of my Makeup Revolution palettes or whatever that I would like. I'm going to bring them into a Throwback Thursday at some point that I really enjoy, you know? So I didn't panic. I really did not panic when I heard that Makeup Revolution was taking over. I'm going to go back around with this brush and just kind of blend that purple shade out a little bit. I didn't freak out at all because I was like, well, I like Makeup Revolution, you know? But I mean, they haven't really done much with BH. I don't know. They've done what, those quads, the travel quads that I thought were very boring, honestly. Just not to say that if like someone went and picked that up, they're wrong for doing that. I don't think that at all. I just felt like they weren't unique in my collection at all. So I thought, oh, I'm not going to get those just because I already have the shades. I could dupe those real easy. And I don't know. I've heard good things about those quads though, that they perform well and they're really nice. I've had some of my subscribers tell me that they have them and that they really like them. So what the hell do I know? But anyway, I'm going to go back in just a little bit more of LAX and just make sure that that looks a little bit more blent together. And then I'm going to start laying the shimmers down. Woo! So now what I'm trying to figure out is which shade to put out here and then in here. I think I'm going to start off with City of Angels and put that out here because I don't think, I know what I did. I swatched them and this one seemed a little bit lighter and I don't really want to put a lighter, like I want to put the darkest shade out towards the outer V. And my goal this weekend is to wash my brushes because I'm getting to where I don't have a whole lot of clean brushes left. So I got to do that. But today actually is my husband and my 4-year wedding anniversary. Isn't that cool? So yeah, 4 years we've been married, he and I. And yeah, it's awesome. We've been together for a total of 8 years, but married for 4. So, and I put a little picture collage type of thing together on Instagram and, you know, got all schmaltzy about him on Instagram. I'm sure some people are probably like, oh, barf. But, you know, I love him and I love expressing that love for him too. I love that, you know, it's important to me to do that. So, yeah, you know, I think if you're truly in love with someone, you should shout it from the rooftops. You know, I do. I've always felt that way. So yeah, love him. I am covering up the purple shade, however, by doing this. And it's okay because you can still kind of see it peeking through. And I think it does add maybe a little bit of depth. What I probably should have done is put that purple matte all the way into my outer V and then covered it up with the blue, but I didn't. So I'm kind of losing the purple matte here, but whatever. I think what I'll do is just go around the outer edge of the shimmer with the purple matte and, you know, just add a little bit more dimension. I have a ton of fallout because I put way too much shimmer on that brush. So now I'm going to go into Melrose and put that in the middle. I would love to know if you have this palette and what you think of it. I usually ask folks when I use an older palette if they have it. And then also, I would love to know what your favorite BH Cosmetics palette that you own is. I would also like to know if there was a palette. Ooh, yeah, that's nice. I'm glad I put the purple in the middle. If there is a BH Cosmetics palette that you did not get that you always wanted to get. The one that I really want to get is is it called Galaxy Chic? Is that what it is? It's got like the, right? There's the Crystal Zodiac. I really wish I'd gotten that one. I do have the Zodiac, just the plain Zodiac BH palette, and I have the Zodiac Love Signs too. I love those. But I think the Crystal Zodiac, I know that's what it's called. I really wanted to get that. And they used to carry that every once in a while at my local Marshalls, and I could just kick myself for not getting it when it was in there because it was like, you know, $7 or $8 max. That is so beautiful. I really like this look. Yes. So now I'm going to go into the Hills and put that towards the front. And actually what I think I will do is just clean this brush off that I just used for that Melrose shade and use it because I like the shape of this and it's a little bit fluffier, so it picks up the shimmer pretty good. Yeah, I wish I had picked it up. Did I say what shade I was going into? The Hills? Okay, that's what I'm doing. And then I think it is called the Galaxy Chic. I don't know. I could be so wrong about that. But I think that was another one that had the, ooh, that's pretty, the baked shimmers. I know that the Crystal Zodiac has the baked shimmers. And of course the Zodiac, both Zodiac palettes I own do too. And I just love the BH Cosmetics baked shimmer formula. I do have the Solar Flare, which is lovely. You know, those palettes have been in my collection for years, and I don't think they work as well as they used to, but they're still just so pretty, you know? And I just have like a deep, this is gonna sound weird, but I have a deep emotional connection to them. I mean, they're makeup, but I do. So I'm gonna go back into the Hills with my finger and just kind of smush that into the lid so that those shades look a little bit less stark next to each other, more like they're friendly with one another. That is beautiful. I'm gonna go back into Melrose with the same finger. I clean that shadow off and then just kind of smush this onto the lid. And, you know, I could have just done with the shimmers and not even put the mattes on the lid, really. I mean, I'm glad I did, but I don't think they were absolutely necessary. And I'm going to go back in with City of Angels out here. you know, because the shimmers alone would have been beautiful. But it is nice to have the matte kind of to anchor the shimmers, I think, you know. I don't have a problem doing all shimmer looks. I've done several. And I do think that it is, in a lot of ways, it's easier to blend shimmers together than it is mattes. You know what I mean? Like I can get this to kind of work together well. When I did that cut crease with an all mattes, I was like, whose bright idea was this? Mine. So it was a little harder to do that, I would say. I really like this. It looks a little blown out, but I do like it. I think it's pretty. So I'm going to go clean this up, do my other eye, the rest of my face. I'll come back. So this, of course, is my finished look, and I really love how this look turned out. Out of the 4 or 5 times I've played with this palette, I love this look the best. I don't know that I've ever loved a look that I've put together with this palette before, but today's the day, hooray. So I'm going to show you the palette again, but let me show you everything else I have on my face today. For my base product, I use my powder foundation. This is the Maybelline New York Superstay Full Coverage up to 16 Hour in the shade 220. I'm getting more and more pan out of this baby. Use this all the way up, and I will repurchase this. I will say that I feel like this color, I've said this before, is maybe a little too yellow on me, so I might change the shade up when I repurchase. For my blush, I didn't use any bronzer, but for my blush, I use the IBY blush in Sunkissed. This is in my Def Leopard panning project, and I think I've used it 5 or 6 times now. I'll have to check my little check off sheet, but yeah, doing good, and I really like it. I wanted something soft and subtle that would go well with the eye look. I felt like that was a good choice. Let's see, for my lipstick, I use the CoverGirl Metallic Lipstick in the shade 540 Stop the Press. I've had this in my collection for quite some time, and I just forget that I have it. Initially, I was going to go with a really bold lip to kind of set off the more subtle pastel eye look, but I don't know. I just saw this and I thought, ooh, the metallic lavender might look really nice with your eye look, and I really think it looks cool. And then for my mascara, I use the Revolution Beauty 5D Lash Pow volumizing mascara. I love this. I've been using it a ton lately. And then I did use a fun liner for my upper lids. I used a Beauty Creations pot gel liner in the shade Indigo, which Indigo I thought was purple. This is pretty blue to me, but nobody asked me to name the shade. And I actually discovered that I was using those real skinny, almost like toothpick type brushes. And I just used a regular, like, I guess it's a brow brush, and it worked so well to apply this. So I'm gonna use that brush again. I'm gonna find a place to put that brush so I don't forget and use it every time I use one of these pot gel liners. It was amazing. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay, so now let's talk about the eyeshadow palette, BH Cosmetics Lost in Los Angeles. For my lower lash lines, I used a combination of Abbott Kinney, LAX, and then 90210. Just, I don't know why I thought the light pink would look kind of cool and kind of, I don't know why, but I just kind of bunched them all together on my lower lash lines, and I think it looks really pretty. I am really impressed with how the mattes in this palette perform. Even though they're pastel, and even though I would prefer to have darker mattes in here, they work really well. They're very saturated in pigment, and they're beautiful, and they blend really well. And the shimmers are just gorgeous. I feel like mine are getting a little old. I'm seeing that a lot in my collection, which I don't love, but they still worked really well. But I can see that, or maybe, you know what I think it is? I think maybe what I'm noticing is that there is a very significant difference in shimmer formulas between like indie brand shimmers that I just love versus the more mainstream. I mean, I know BH Cosmetics is considered an indie brand, but I would say that maybe this was more mass produced than some of the indie palettes or indie brands that I love so much. So maybe that's really what I'm noticing, is just the difference in formulation, but still love it. And what I really learned about this palette today is that I can create a look with it that I really love, really love. I didn't think that was going to be possible, but I like to challenge myself, you know, do things differently, or I don't know, use palettes that maybe are a challenge to me and then have it turn out so well. That's awesome. I cannot wait to see what shades Emily chose out of the palette, watch her look come together. Like I mentioned, I will have a link to her channel in my description box. If you have not yet gone to check out her channel, go for it. Subscribe to her channel, show her a ton of love. She totally deserves it. She's beautiful, she's talented, she's supportive, she's awesome. I'm thrilled that she wanted to do another collab with me, and I hope that down the road we can do another one. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your lives to sit down and watch this video. If you're new here and you enjoyed what you saw, please consider subscribing, smash the like button, and of course comment down below in the comment section. I love to chat with you guys there. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I cannot wait to see you guys again in my next video, but in the meantime, please take very good care of yourself, be well, safe, happy, and I will see you soon. Bye.
Drop it.